All right, so locomotor skills, non-locomotor skills. What do you think the difference is? One is not. Good start. Huh? Well, what's locomotor mean? Moving from place to place. Probably the easiest way to put it. One's going places, one's standing still. It's a fairly simple way of saying it. Probably oversimplifying it a little bit. All right, so you have your fundamental skills. So is it a basic or is it functional? Students need to be functional in everyday life, so that would be more of a functional need. So that'd be, you can go all the way to activities of daily living. Can they brush their teeth? Can they get themselves dressed? Can they use the restroom? That's probably the one you're going to run into the most. The tragedy and the scariness of any kindergarten, first or second grade teacher. What is the random liquid that I just put my hand or foot in? So locomotors are skills that are used to move the body from one place to another or project the body upward, jumping. Non-locomotor are skills that are performed without any appreciable movement from place to place. Write those down. That's a quiz question, I am sure. I think you have 2 chapter quizzes tonight. I didn't look at them today to see how long they were, but they're probably very similar. I think they're mostly 20 questions with the last 4 or 5 of them. Did I put a timer on you guys' quizzes? Is it long enough? Okay, so I think it's 20 minutes with... Yes, I graded the first chapter that we did. That's as far as I got. Standing in one place. Stand on one leg. Transfer your leg to one place to the other. Can you stretch? Non-locomotor skill. So locomotor skill. So this is basically, this is why I think I might just post this one because there's so many good cues here that you're not going to be able to write them all down. So skills for walking, and you can use this just to get your students to walk from room to room, place to place, anytime they're in line. You want to keep your head up and your eyes forward. It sounds so logical, but you'd be surprised how many kids look at their toes when they walk. Point your toes straight ahead. Oh dear, sorry, random side note, tangent here. I have horrible ankles. I've had surgeries on them to fix them. I used to run whenever I rolled an ankle, and this would be all the way back into grade school. If I rolled my ankle, I'd literally walk with my toe out, or I'd try to run with one foot out like this. And that was just to try to keep it from hurting, because that was more comfortable than keeping it straight. And I ended up walking like this for a long time, like through middle school and some of high school. I really had to focus to walk straight, and the place that I really did that was mowing the lawn. So when I'm mowing the lawn, I would really focus, heel, toe straight, to try to train myself to walk straight again. So that, just random side note there. And then all these things, walk quietly, don't stomp your feet. An interesting one, tummy in, chest up, so walking with good posture. Push off the floor with your toes. Yeah, all of those are good things. This is just an example. I would use these with your first day of school. This is how we walk from place to place. We are going to walk upright. We're going to look good when we go place to place. And you'll be surprised how much of them will be like, nice and prideful. So here's some more skills for running. You don't have to write them all down here, but I think I'm going to post this for you guys. Run on the balls of your feet when you're going fast. Head up, bend your knees, relax your arms, swing your arms forward and backward, not sideways. Yeah, they'll fall over if they do that. Another side note, my son, when he first started walking my son started walking at 9 months, 10 months. My wife was 9 months, my son was 10. But when he runs, when he started walking, he'd walk with his arms up high. And that was all for balance. And the older he got, the lower the arms get, and the lower the arms get. And now the faster he runs, he doesn't run like this yet. At 2.5, he runs with his arms out like this to keep himself balanced. It's so cute. Hopefully none of your kindergartners are doing that, but yeah. breathing naturally, and then there's some video or some examples there. Hopping, so hopping off of 2 feet, and some things there. Hop in a good forward motion on your toes. Use your arms. Land lightly. That means land on your toes, not on your heels. Bend your knees, bend your ankles. Your body was made to cushion the blow when you land. That's why you have joints where they are, so that they can bend up like that. Take off on both feet, land on both feet, please, as much as possible. I know it doesn't always happen, but depending on what you're doing. All those details there, and there's lots of them here, so we're just going to kind of bounce through them. Oh, great little skill there using hula hoops. By the way, have yourself a set of hula hoops for your classroom. Trust me, you'll find lots of uses for them. Sliding, sideways gallop is what they're calling, is more, they say, not sliding on the ground. So move sideways, don't bounce, slide your feet. This would be this, sliding. That's what they're talking about. Galloping, another one that I've actually I've had some 4th graders that struggled with a gallop. Like they couldn't keep one leg forward. So I always tell them to do it like a horse. You know how a horse gallops and they keep one foot forward. They just struggle with that. So keep one foot in front of the other one the whole time. Now lead with the other foot. That's the trouble one. Lead with your right foot going one way. Lead with your left foot going the other way. Woo! That puts some neurons that have to get connected there to learn how to do that. And again, these are all just things that are part of physical literacy, being able to control your body. It starts simple, but then you can start doing something like galloping with the opposite foot forward. Woo! Jumping high. Leaping, elegant, elongated steps. Combined with running, push off and reach. Doing. Skipping, I probably would teach skipping before I teach galloping, but kind of up to you. Step, hop. I would actually even start before that. This is just my teaching cues. Stand on your right foot, hop. Switch feet, hop on your left foot. Switch feet, hop on your right foot. Now walk forward, hop on your right foot. Take a step forward, hop on your left foot. And that's how I would teach my kindergartners to start learning how to skip. Okay, so you can break it down even more, and then you can go step, hop, step, hop, step, hop. So, yeah, that'll be part in there. Say bending at joints. So we got lots of these here. So bending, and then rocking and swaying. A good dance unit there. I know that that's somewhat discouraged in our Adventist world, but there's definitely things you can do rhythmically that go along with that. Your music teachers will love you if you actually have them doing some sort of musicality. Just having my students run to the beat was a big deal to the music teacher. Being able to turn, be able to turn both ways. Turn to your left, turn to your right. Sometimes can be a challenge. Usually initially, so keep your balance in jump turns, land well, be precise. Say simple, but you just never know. I'm going to go through these a little quicker here because I want to go upstairs. So twist in place would be a non-locomotor skill. Pushing, push against a wall, broaden your foot base. When I taught my son to walk, there was a little 11-month-old girl in cradle roll, and she was starting to walk while you held her hands, and she can kind of stand in one place. Well, when I taught my son to walk, I kind of held his hands, and then I took a step back, and to get him to walk, I had to take his feet and make them really wide, and then he could get his balance, and then he took his first couple of steps. I didn't get his first step. I got his second step on video with a big squeal when he did it. He went, ah! He was so excited. Yep, I am not that good of a skier, but I have seen it done. The pastor at Rio, he's from Massachusetts, where that's like a way of life is skiing there. And we went someplace when I was in Lodi for a ski day, and he brought his son, who's got an amputee from here. So they adopted a Chinese boy that was an amputee, still is, sorry. But watching him ski down the little bunny hill with his son with one foot on each one was really cute. So, I mean, you could just do something as simple as pushing. I would disguise this as stretching, because stretching your calf against the wall, but just learning how to put one foot forward and push against the wall. Some of them are going to struggle. Pulling, make sure you teach them how to pull before you have them do like tug of war. Please. They're going to get hurt. Keep things close to your body. All kinds of great instructional cues there. All right, so there is some things due on Wednesday. So Wednesday, you're going to come up with your introductory thing here, and that's from chapter 16, and have 2 cooperative activities. I don't know if you're going to actually teach all of them. We will probably just kind of start with each person teach your introductory. If we get through all those, then we'll do the cooperative activities. So you're all going to teach each other on Wednesday. There's going to be some quizzes due. I think the quizzes are due tonight. I don't think they're due Friday. And Friday we're outside somewhere. Probably out on the track is where we're going to do it. If I remember, I did throwing out there, which I'm actually going to teach you throwing inside first. We'll do more catching out there. So this is an example of what I would make for myself. I would make a 3x5 inch thing here, and then I would just print it off and fold it, is how I would do it. Or I'd cut it out, your choice. Most printers can't print on a 3x5 card. So I don't like to have to write it out. My handwriting's terrible. If you have beautiful handwriting, which a lot of elementary teachers do because you got to write on the board all the time, go for it. Write it down by hand and keep it for later. I have to print it. So, these are the things that we are going to do today. Now, I would have printed these out, but there's no printer paper upstairs. So I'm actually going to have to do exactly what I told you not to do and teach off of my phone. So this is what I would have made for a 3x5 card for what we're going to do today. And we are going to go upstairs in just a second. I want to show you, before we go too much farther, I want to pull this out. I made sure I drew this out here. So this is the physical education teacher at Lodi, and I sat in his class for the first 3-4 weeks. I would sit there and type out my math lessons because I was making flipped classroom stuff, and listen to what he was doing. So this is how he started. Now this is high school, so you are going to have to adjust this a little bit, but the concepts are great here. So, I told him, I have expectations, come to class, you get dressed, but I don't grade you specifically on it. I used to do that when I first started. Now I just I expect you to come to class dressed. And if you don't, first day I'll penalize you a little bit. And if it keeps happening, I'm going to make it worse. Rather than just be like, well, you lose 5 points today out of your 20, and then they'll just not dress out ever and just get a C in the class. So I make it worse and worse and worse the more time it repeats. And you have misbehaviors in an elementary class, it starts out as a little thing, but if it keeps going, you just keep doing it. So, and you can go into there. Oh, that was a big deal. And I would do this, I might even start this in 6th grade, is having them bring a notebook to physical education class. Another way for them to really treat it as a class. And then I would have assignments at the end of class. That I'd have them write about, usually about whatever they did that day. So here's my first key. I always will tell them, I will say go. This is so you don't have to carry a whistle. As you just train them, say, I will say go. Let's see. If you leave before, I make everybody come back. And then you'll start with a very simple human knot. And have them get in a group of 6. And try it different ways. Oh yeah, I tried it with pool noodles once, but for COVID, instead of grabbing hands, they had to put a pool noodle so they were spread out more. Did not work, by the way. Don't try that. And then here's what I put in the notebook. In the notebook, were we successful? Why or why not? Why did we do this for class? And just see what they come up with. Tougher for younger ones, but there's concepts there. This day 3, this is probably the most important thing I learned. Practice your classroom management first. So we would do things, can you do it in 20 seconds? So I'd have them go from this line to this line as a class. Can you get there in 20 seconds? Sometimes I actually time them. Sometimes I don't. I act like I'm timing them. I'll sit here like this. Will I really time them? Maybe. But I was like, go, across. I did this outside. Go sit on that bleacher. Go. And then I'd act like, and they'd have to run across there. Stop. All right, now come back in 20 seconds. Go. Oh, we didn't quite make it. I guess we got to go back to the bleacher. You got 20 seconds. Go. And I'm not actually timing them most of the time. And then I would also practice all the things that I'm going to use for my class. So sit in a circle. Go. Sit in front of me over here. Go. And that was sitting on the ground, looking at me, or if it's outside, like squatting down so everybody can see the example. Line tag is a wonderful thing. I did amoeba tag. Everything I did in freshman was all about team building. Oh yeah, team building. Line up by height without talking. It's a first day activity. Close your eyes and line up by birth month. Oh, that was fun. Tougher for the younger ones, but your first and second graders lining up by height. Oh, that'll be so fun. They'll walk up and you're trying to be like... That's how they always make themselves taller. All right, so those are just some great... So whenever you start teaching your classes, start doing that. Practice your classroom management the first day. Even if you just take 2 minutes to do it. Nyla's going to see me do that tomorrow. I'm going to start with that for a TNT class because I'm doing all the introductory things. I'm going to just go over my classroom management things that I would do. Oh yeah, this is always my favorite one. In my game, it's my rules. It doesn't matter what somebody else did. They will always say, well, so-and-so does it this way. Just make that a blanket comment at the beginning. My game, my rules. Doesn't matter what anybody else does. Anything else on here? Knee tag is fun. All right.